Hey guys, welcome back to the Catholic Frontlines. Today we're going to talk about a topic that I touched on in the last video. We're going to call it discipline. We're going to kind of ask the question and try to answer why discipline is a forgotten Catholic virtue. Discipline has several names. We could call it discipline, temperance, self-mastery, self-control, self-denial, mortification. Um, but really, what it is, it's the foundation. It's in the Catholic world, it's the foundation of spiritual freedom. When I say it's forgotten, it's treated as a forgotten virtue because modern culture tells us, it almost prioritizes comfort, convenience, um, individualism. And it makes the ancient practices of self-denial and fasting um, almost feel countercultural. We're told that we should follow our own desires and get our personal fulfillment. Whereas the Catholic virtue of discipline focuses on denying our ego, uh, our unruly passions and desires, and make room for God's grace. I must decrease so God can increase. If I'm so egotistical, my head is so big and I'm so full of myself, then I don't have a whole lot of room to let God in. Where's He? And that's what we're talking about. Discomfort and redemptive suffering, so to speak. Again, we're told in this day and age to avoid pain and discomfort at all costs. Pain is bad. Discomfort, oh no, we have to be comfortable. Christian discipline, it involves uniting our daily struggles, our feelings, our sacrifices, and pains. And guys, I'm going to tell you, the older I get, the more pains I'm having. But it's uniting those with the cross of Christ. It's not all about me, and me. Discipline, when we're self-sacrificing, it's an act of love. It is different from willpower. Willpower is something that you do. I'm gonna go on a diet, and hopefully I have a willpower not to eat it, 2 or 3 Big Macs or whatever the case may be. My sacrifices, the discipline in my fasting, or in the redemptive suffering of my offering up my aches and pains, or offering up my trials and tribulations of the day, that's an act of love. I touched on it before, but the word discipline, it shares a Latin root with the word disciple, which means to learn. It's the intentional training of our soul, so to speak, to follow Christ. I don't know that we're born knowing that. That's a question for somebody that's a lot smarter than me. But I'm guessing we're not, because if we have to intentionally train ourselves to follow Christ, I think that's a lot where God's grace comes down on us and gets us to where we need to go. But discipline is rooted in discipleship. And I want to be a disciple of Christ. I want to learn from Christ. I want to imitate Christ. I want to be more Christ-like. in every aspect of my life. The Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches that man must either govern his passions and find peace, or let himself be dominated by his passions and become unhappy. What that basically means is that if we allow our passions to dominate over us, we become slaves to our passions. We should be able to control ourselves. And if we have these passions that just go unchecked and we just follow a whim of what we want to do, we're a slave to our passions, and that's not going to lead us to a very good place. It's that discipline, temperance. Uh, it's that self-control and self-mastery that prevents us from falling into a state of sin. It preserves our freedom, because we have that self-control over ourselves. We have that temperance, that self-mastery, the discipline to say no. That's not what I'm doing. I need to pray instead of watching trash on TV that's going to put ideas into my head that's going to make me go do something I should. The foundation of love, guys. The true Catholic discipline it's not an end in and of itself. It's a tool. Discipline is a tool. It's meant to free our hearts from selfishness, uh, so we can freely, and I'll even say radically, love God and others. Remember, love thy neighbor. We have to love our neighbor, and part of that is if we are so self-absorbed in ourselves, we don't have room for God, much less our neighbor. That's where the discipline comes in. That's where the self-control uh, comes in. You know, discomfort is not a bad thing. It's I'm not going to say it's fun. You know, fasting, and there's so many ways and variations that we can fast. We can do a food fast. Let's go take 24 hours, one whole day of no food. You're going to drink liquids. I have done that. I've personally fasted from coffee. Anyone who knows me knows I drink coffee almost from sun up to sundown, and I don't drink the weak coffee either. I usually do espresso shots or Cuban coffee, and that's kind of my thing. And I'll drink coffee all day long. When I don't drink coffee, I tend to get a little cranky. I miss that caffeine, and I start getting headaches. It's not going to kill me. But there's certain days where I'll fast from coffee and I'll offer that up. We have to be able to grow. We have to be able to deny ourselves. That's that self-denial. Deny those passions that are going to get us in trouble. Deny the urges that will make us fall into a state of mortal sin. And if we practice discipline in setting up our prayer routine and following the prayer routine and being consistent in our prayer routine, and take one day a week where we're going to fast from food. We might, or do a, if you have problems with, maybe you're addicted to social media, take a fast from social media. Say, for 24 hours, I'm putting it all down. I'm putting social media away. Shut your phone. I don't know how you do it. Whatever you do on your phone to block it, if you can, I don't know. Do what you have to do. Okay? Deny yourself. Deny yourself. Replace the food. Replace the social media. Replace the coffee. Replace whatever it is that you're fasting from with Jesus, with prayer. And I'm going to go back to that quote again. I must decrease so that he can increase. I have to make room for Jesus. I have to have room in my heart, mind, body, and soul for Jesus to come into my life, come into my being. That's part of surrendering myself to him. Jesus, I surrender myself to you. I give you full authority, full permission over everything that is me. Come into me. Use me as a tool. Guide me. Bring me wherever you want me to bring. Show me the path, Lord, and give me the grace to see it and to do your will today and every day. If we don't have room for Jesus, he can't move. He can't move inside of us. I mean, imagine being in a small, tiny box where you're boxed in and you can't move, and somebody's expecting you to perform miracles, or somebody's expecting you to help them, but you can't because you're in that box. It's the same analogy, the same thing, guys. We have to make room for Jesus and the Holy Spirit to move in us. We have to do that. We have to give him the space. We have to give him the room. We have to give him the permission, and we have to give him the authority to do so. Don't wait until you're up to your neck in sins, and the crocodiles and the alligators are starting to snap at your feet. Do it. Start it now when it's not. You can't be you can't be neck deep in sin and say, God help me. Well, what did you do before that? I'm not saying God won't help you. He will. God will always help us. He will always give us what we need. But don't wait till the last minute. You have to start producing this discipline. You have to start practicing this discipline. You have to practice what you preach. You have to put it into effect and make a decision starting now. Or tomorrow, if you will. Whatever you have to do, you know where you're at mentally. You know where you're at spiritually. Okay? Starting tomorrow, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to pray my rosary, and I'm going to say my morning offering, and I'm going to give myself, I'm going to surrender my day to God. And I'm going to give him full, total, complete permission and control over my being, heart, mind, body, and soul, and ask him to invade every aspect of me. Watch how much different your day goes. But you have to start with that discipline. And you have to be consistent with it. You can't just do it one day and go, oh, you know what? I prayed this morning. I said my morning offering. I said my daily rosary, and I fasted. I'm good. I'm done. Don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Every day is a journey. Every day is a spiritual journey. Every day brings new spiritual teachings, learnings. Every day brings new temptations. Every day the enemy is trying to get us and trap us into sin. So how do we do that? We have to train. We have to train. You know, before a boxer steps into a ring, you got to train. You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a boxer and go step into the ring. You're going to get beaten like a baby seal. Promise you. It's going to be brutal. You have to start training. You have to start taking baby steps, turn those baby steps into something bigger, bigger, and bigger until you are fully capable and equipped to fight the fight. Because guys, I'm gonna tell you something. God's not gonna allow you to be tempted more than what you can resist. But you have to resist. You have to fight the temptations. You have to overcome the enemy. You have to ask God's grace in doing so. You have to ask our Mother Perpetual Help to help you be there in times of temptation. Don't wait until it's after the fact. Build up that discipline. Start training. Start training for the battle. Start training for the combat. You know, we are capable. We are more than conquerors through Christ and in Christ. We can do this. You can do this. I promise you, you can. Start training. Start pulling up. Start building your discipline. Start fasting. Start offering up your discomforts for whatever is close to your heart. Okay? For the conversion of sinners around the world. For the conversions of sinners in your own family. In reparation for your own sins. Offer it up for the holy souls in purgatory. They need our prayers, guys. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I was at my family cemetery where majority of my family is buried, and I was praying my rosary specifically for my grandparents. Right there where my grandparents are buried, my grandmother's sister is buried as well. And I offered my rosary up for my grandparents for the repose of their souls. Clear as day, I heard my aunt's voice, my great aunt's voice, my grandmother's sister, who had been dead for 20 years. What about me? Now, guys, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not. I wasn't scared. There was no fear in me whatsoever. But it made me realize she didn't have any kids in her life. She really, she didn't have a family of her own in a sense where she has kids, grandkids, and a family line. But I was there, and I was praying. And she made me understand that she needed my prayers. And ever since that day, and that was a few years ago, ever since that day, I've been praying for her, and I realized that I had two other family members who never had children, were never married, never had kids of their own, so they have no family line after them to pray for them. I've included them in my daily prayers as well. If you look, I'm not saying that people are popping up from behind trees talking to me or anything like that. You have to have an open heart, and you have to listen with your heart, not necessarily your ears. Your ears can deceive you. Anyway, I'm gonna touch on more on that in another in another episode. But please offer it up for the souls in purgatory. Maybe you have family members that don't have anyone to pray for them, that have gone before, and they might be in purgatory. Your prayers will never be wasted. If you're praying for a family member for their release from purgatory, and they've already been released, God's going to apply those prayers to somebody else that needs it. And your prayers are never wasted, ever. God knows what's needed, and He's going to apply it where He believes, not where He believes, where He knows or your prayers are needed the most. So, guys, once again, thank you. Thank you for allowing me into your homes with you. Um, thank you for sharing this time with me. I'm praying for everybody. Please, as I always ask, please pray for me. I'm just as big of a sinner as everybody else. I'm not. There's nothing special about me. Uh, I'm just trying to help people out and bring people along on this spiritual journey that I'm going along with them. I don't want to go on it by myself. And if we can help each other out by praying for each other, praying with each other, help each other. Let's help each other get to heaven. That's the goal. That's the goal, guys. Help each other get to heaven. That's what it's all about. So I thank you for joining me on the Catholic Frontlines, and I hope to see y'all soon on the next episode. God bless us. God bless everyone. Don't forget, offer it up. Offer it up for whatever cause you feel that is calling your heart to pray. Love you guys. Bye-bye.